I was at a dinner party the other night, just a casual thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I told a story. It was a good story, funny, timing was right, and everyone laughed.
Mm.
And I had this distinct internal feeling of, yes, I did that.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like a warm glow of validation. We all chase that, right? You nail the presentation at work, you fix the leaky sink.
Or you just win a debate in the comments section.
Right. You pause and you wait for the applause, you want the credit.
It's the ego looking for a snack. It's entirely natural. We want to be the protagonist of the movie.
Exactly. We want to be the hero. But today, we're doing a deep dive into a text that takes that very human, very natural impulse and just hits the brakes on it.
Hard.
We're looking at Psalm 115, and it opens with a line that is so counterintuitive to how we live our modern lives, it's almost jarring. It doesn't start with, look at us. It starts with, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us.
It is jarring. It's a radical ego check right at the front door. We're looking at this ancient Hebrew poem, and the sources we have today, the text itself, plus some really interesting analysis on its application, suggest this isn't just false modesty. It's a survival strategy.
A survival strategy. That sounds dramatic.
Well, think about the alternative. I mean, if the mission of this deep dive is to deconstruct human ego and idolatry, we have to look at what happens when you do take the credit.
Okay.
If the glory belongs to you, then the burden of maintaining that glory also belongs to you.
Oh, I see. If I'm the hero, I have to keep saving the day.
Precisely. And that is exhausting. So we're going to explore how this text strips away that pressure. We'll look at the roast of the idols, which is arguably one of the most sarcastic passages in the Bible.
I'm looking forward to that.
And we'll look at what it means to have active trust.
Okay, let's set the scene first, because these texts didn't happen in a vacuum. Where are we, historically?
So picture an ancient gathering of the faith community. Israel is surrounded by superpowers, Egypt, Babylon, nations with massive armies, and more importantly, massive gods.
Visible gods.
Visible gods. Giant golden statues, temples that would make our skyscrapers look small.
So they are the little guys.
They're the little guys. And the world around them is loud and flashy. So this community gathers to sing a song that reminds them that despite what it looks like, the power isn't in the giant statues.
It's in the invisible God.
Exactly.
And they start with that double negative. Verse 1. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. Why say it twice?
Well, in Hebrew poetry, repetition is how you bold and underline text.
It's for emphasis.
Total emphasis. They're emphasizing it because it's hard to believe it's a corrective.
But let me play devil's advocate here. To a modern ear, this sounds a bit like low self-esteem. Not unto us, we're unworthy, we're terrible. Is that what's happening?
That's a common reading.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's accurate to the source material. It's not about self-deprecation. It's about relocation. Look at the reason they give.
Okay.
For thy mercy and for thy truth's sake.
Mercy and truth.
Right. If I build my life on my glory, it's built on my performance. And my performance fluctuates. Some days I'm smart, some days I'm not.
Sure.
But if I give the glory to God, I'm grounding my life in His mercy and His truth. Those are constants.
So it's actually a safety net.
It's the ultimate safety net. It's saying, I don't want the credit because I can't handle the weight of being the God of my own life.
That connects to one of the notes in our source material about leading with gratitude. It mentioned that in a leadership context, whether you're a CEO or a parent, humility isn't thinking less of yourself.
No.
It's just realizing the victory isn't entirely yours.
Exactly. When you succeed, if you absorb all that glory, your ego inflates. You become fragile. You become defensive because you're terrified of being exposed as a fraud. But if you say, not unto us, if you acknowledge that your talent, your timing, your team, even your breath is a gift, you can enjoy the success without being consumed by it.
You can actually enjoy the party without needing to be the center of attention.
Right. But then the camera swings away from the internal ego check to the external critics. This is where the tension really ramps up.
Verse 2.
Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their God?
The heathen. Now, we need to translate that a bit. We're not just talking about bad people, right?
No, not at all. In this context, the heathen, or the nations, just refers to everyone else, the surrounding culture.
Okay.
And their critique is very empirical. They're saying, we have a statue of Baal. It's right there. It's huge. It's shiny. Where is your God? We don't see anything.
It's the demand for proof. It's the pics or it didn't happen of the ancient world.
It is. And the response in verse 3 is just cool confidence. But our God is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased.
I love that. It's basically saying our God isn't stuck on a shelf.
He's loose.
He's in the heavens.
He's sovereign. He's not limited by a physical form that needs polishing.
Which leads us to the roast. I've been waiting for this. The text pivots from defending God to absolutely dismantling the competition.
It really does.
Verse 4 starts the list. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands.
And note that emphasis, the work of men's hands. It's the first jab. You made this thing, and now you worship it.
You're the creator of your own God.
Right.
And then the writer goes through the anatomy of these statues. And I want to slow down here because the sarcasm is it's dripping off the page. Verse 5. They have mouths, but they speak not.
I mean, think about the irony. A God is supposed to speak truth, give direction, offer wisdom. These things have carved mouths, permanently open.
But they never say a word.
Not one.
Eyes have they, but they see not.
They can't see your suffering. They can't see your devotion. You can dance in front of them, cut yourself, cry out they are blind.
Verse 6. They have ears, but they hear not.
Silence, no matter how loud you pray.
Noses have they, but they smell not. Now, this one always cracks me up. Why bring up the nose?
It sounds funny to us, but in the ancient world, worship involved incense. The idea was that the god would smell the sweet savor of the offering and be pleased.
Ah.
The psalmist is saying, you're burning expensive incense for a block of wood that can't even smell it. It's highlighting the total waste.
It keeps going. Hands, but they handle not. Feet, but they walk not. It's like he's describing a really expensive action figure that doesn't actually have any action.
It's all about impotence. A god with feet that can't walk has to be carried.
You have to carry your own God.
Think about that image. You have to pick up your god and move him when you move house. You have to dust him. You have to protect him from thieves.
A God you have to protect isn't much of a God.
Exactly. But here's the turn. This is the part of the deep dive where we have to lean in, because it goes from funny to frightening very, very quickly. Verse 8.
They that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusteth in them.
This is the core psychological insight of the text. We become like what we worship.
Explain that mechanism. How do I become like a statue? I'm not turning into silver or gold.
No, but you mimic the attributes of your ultimate concern. If you worship a statue that has eyes but doesn't see, and ears but doesn't hear, you are worshiping something that is cold, lifeless, and transactional.
Okay.
Over time, you begin to reflect that nature. You become spiritually blind. You become deaf to the needs of others. You become hard.
So if you obsess over something lifeless, you lose your own life.
You lose your humanity. You become inert. You stop expecting the universe to be alive and responsive, and you start treating everything as an object.
Okay, that makes sense in 1000 BC. But let's bring this into the car ride or the kitchen where our listener is right now. Most of us don't have a shrine to a golden calf in the living room.
Hopefully not.
So does this roast still apply?
The source material on modern applications argues that it absolutely does, because an idol isn't just a statue. An idol is anything you trust more than God for your ultimate security and meaning.
So what are our silver and gold today?
Well, look at the things we attribute power to. Technology, wealth, status, political ideology.
Let's take technology. We don't bow to our phones. Well, actually, if you look at people at a bus stop, maybe we do.
We absolutely do. Think about the parallel. We look to the phone for connection, ears, mouth, for knowledge, eyes, for validation. But apply the roast. Does the algorithm actually see you?
No.
Does it hear your actual grief?
No. It feeds you content, but it doesn't know you.
It has a mouth, but speaks no truth, just data.
Oh.
And here are the scary part. They that make them are like unto them. If you treat the algorithm as your God, you start thinking like an algorithm.
Wow.
You optimize your life for engagement, you
Yep.
become performative, you become binary, you lose your nuance and your soul.
Or money, that's the classic one. Bank account has numbers, but it speaks not.
Right, money promises safety. If I hit this number, I'm safe. That's a religious claim.
Mm.
But money is lifeless. It's cold.
And if you worship it.
You become transactional. You start viewing people as assets or liabilities, not humans. You become as cold as the cash you're chasing.
That is sobering. We become like what we worship. That explains so much of the burnout and the cynicism we see today.
It really does.
Yeah.
Idolatry is essentially spiritual blindness. You think you're seeing the world clearly. I'm just being a realist about money. But you're actually blinding yourself to the spiritual reality of a living God.
So we've diagnosed the problem. We've done the ego check, not unto us. And we've realized that chasing dead idols makes us dead.
Right.
We can't stay there. We need a solution.
And the text gives us one immediately. It doesn't leave us in a vacuum. It moves to section 3, active trust.
It calls out three specific groups. Verse 9, O Israel, trust thou in the Lord.
And verse 11, ye that fear the Lord, trust in the Lord.
It's a widening circle. Israel is the nation. House of Aaron, that's the priesthood, the religious professionals, the experts.
So even the experts need the reminder, especially the experts. It's easy to work for God and forget to trust him. And then ye that fear the Lord covers everyone else.
And there's that refrain after each one. It's the same phrase 3 times.
He is their help and their shield.
Help and shield. This is the counter definition to the idols. The idols have hands but can't handle. God is a help.
The idols have feet but can't walk. God is a shield.
The source highlights a distinction here between belief and active trust. What's the difference?
Well, belief can be passive. I can believe that a chair exists, I can stare at it and agree with its structure.
Okay.
Trust is walking over and sitting down in it. It's putting your full weight on it. The text isn't asking for intellectual agreement, it's asking for weight-bearing reliance.
Why is that distinction so important for us?
Because a lot of us believe in God, but we trust in our bank accounts. We agree God is there, but when we're scared, we run to our coping mechanisms, our silver and gold.
Right.
The psalmist is saying, those things can't shield you. Only a living being can shield you.
It's relational. You can't have a relationship with a statue or a stock portfolio.
Exactly. You can only have a relationship with the person. And because he is living, the dynamic changes. When you trust a living God, you don't just get protection, you get a future.
Which brings us to the blessings section, verse 12. The Lord hath been mindful of us, he will bless us.
Mindful of us, just pause on that for a second.
Yeah.
The idols have eyes but see not. The Lord is mindful. He thinks about you.
He keeps you in mind.
Yeah.
That's a comforting thought. And the blessing seems expansive. He will bless them that fear the Lord, both small and great. No VIP section.
And it's a blessing of increase, verse 14. The Lord shall increase you more and more, you and your children.
Now, here is where the text takes a turn that I think is really relevant to how we view our place in the world. Verse 16.
Yes.
The heaven, even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth hath he given to the children of men.
This is a massive statement on stewardship.
Unpack that. Given to the children of men. Does that mean we own it?
No, and that's the key nuance. If I give you a task or a territory within my kingdom, I'm not signing over the deed. I'm assigning responsibility.
Ah.
God retains the heavens. He is the ultimate sovereign, but he has delegated the management of earth to us.
So we aren't the owners, we're the property manager.
Exactly. We are stewards. And this connects right back to the not unto us theme. If we thought we were the owners, we'd exploit the earth for our own glory.
But if we are stewards,
We care for it for his glory.
that changes the Monday morning grind, doesn't it?
Completely. It means your work, your parenting, your creativity, it's all part of managing the earth God gave you. You aren't just accumulating stuff. You're handling God's property. It gives dignity to everything we do.
It's not just a gift, it's a job description.
It is. And it stands in stark contrast to the silence of the idols. Which brings us to the very end of the psalm, the choice.
Verse 17, it's blunt. The dead praise not the Lord, neither any that go down into silence.
This is the final warning. If you choose the dead idols, you end up in silence. A meaningless, quiet, disconnected end.
But the psalmist refuses that fate. Verse 18. But we will bless the Lord from this time forth and forevermore.
But we, it's an act of will. The world may chase the silver and gold. The world may end up silent and cynical. But we will bless the Lord.
And the application note here is bless God in the land of the living. It's saying that gratitude is the evidence of life.
Yes, the idols are silent. The idol worshippers become silent. But the people of the living God are loud. They speak, they sing, they bless, is how we prove we are alive.
So if we look at this whole journey, it really is a complete restructuring of how we operate.
It is.
We start by killing the ego, not unto us. We reject the silver and gold idols because they make us blind and dead. We choose active trust in a help and shield. And then we accept our job as stewards to bless the Lord and manage his world.
That's it. It's moving from a self-centered, anxiety-ridden existence to a God-centered, purpose-filled life.
And it's all about where you place that trust.
It's about the object of your affection. You become what you behold.
So we want to leave you with something to chew on. We don't want this to just be an interesting history lesson about ancient poetry. We want it to hit home.
Right. We talked about those modern idols, status, tech, control, money. the things we run to for safety.
I want you to identify one. Just one thing that you might be trusting a little too much. Maybe it's your reputation at work. Maybe it's your savings account.
And ask yourself, is this thing alive? Can it hear me? Can it shield me? Or is it just silver and gold?
And here is the question. How will you apply this information in your life to reclaim your trust in the living God?
What would it look like to take the weight off that idol and put it back on the help and shield?
Maybe it starts with that first line, waking up tomorrow and saying, "Not unto us, O Lord."
It's a great place to start.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you in the next one.